Welcome to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve and your Political Week in Review, broadcasting live on the Really American Media platform. It's been another wild boar of a week. Oink, oink. The political dumpster's ablaze, but let's put out this shit show and reload your brain with the facts you actually need. All right, you little bastards. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Come on, you feline. Start scratching the post. Holy moly. Take it away, gentlemen.
Meow. Welcome to the show. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. We are running a couple minutes behind the normally scheduled programming. We usually start at 3 o'clock here, but yeah, this is a huge news day. You're going to be glad you joined. Welcome to the program, the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, live here on the Really American Media platform. What up, YouTube?
Yes. I'm sorry to the Trump Reaper who shows up for every show. So I'm sure he's sitting there going, what the hell? Did they get deported?
No show today? What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, if you want to reach out to us directly, you can go to our website, thevocalminority.net. And it's a live show. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, this is happening right now. So feel free to jump in the comment section because you are, after all, the vocal minority.
Yeah. This is your show in a world gone crazy and a world gone mad. It's a chance for us to get together and just hang for a little bit and bitch, gripe, and moan and talk about what we're going to do about it. So here we are.
There you go. Technically, Nick, we should not be working today. I've been working all day doing news and entertainment and whatnot, but technically, we're not supposed to be working.
I don't feel so bad for getting a late start today, dude. I was just kind of being lazy. But yeah, I guess we're not supposed to be working today. Who knew?
I think we're exempt because we're part of the resistance. We're part of the news. We're part of the coverage of it all. But yeah, today is the nationwide general strike. And the encouragement is don't go to school, don't go to work, and don't shop today. However, as I prominently featured in the video I did on this topic yesterday, no shaming for those of you that cannot take a day off work or take a day off school. Like, not everyone has that option. So at a minimum, they're saying, like, don't go shopping in the community.
Yeah. Well, I'll abide by that. There's certain things we can do and certain things that we cannot. So, yeah, no shaming for sure. If all the doctors stopped working today, it would be
right.
Tragedy. So
there are some complications with it. So
yeah.
I will tell you, every Friday night that I don't have my son, because my 16-year-old son is, with me a week, with my ex-wife for a week. And so Kennedy and I, my girlfriend, we have this little Friday night tradition. There's this Mexican restaurant in our neighborhood that serves these like fishbowl-sized margaritas that I swear to God have like Molly or ecstasy in them. Because I always leave that restaurant safe enough to drive, but buzzing and just feeling the love and feeling a little amorous.
And you tested it on her, too. She gets the same effect off this drug.
Oh, yes. No, it's a good time. So usually we get one of those and then we come home and do another cocktail. And then you're just flying high. But it's a bit of a catch-22. I'm not supposed to be shopping today, and it's a Mexican restaurant. So I don't know if that makes it better to go spend money at a locally owned and operated Mexican restaurant owned by authentic Mexicans, or if that makes it even worse, or why they would even be open. Why are they not part of this if they're open? I feel like no one should be there, but I think everyone will be.
Tell me this, dude. And again, sometimes I'm just stupid. Like, I get it eventually, but tell me this.
Yeah.
Is the point of all of this to show our power in numbers? I mean, is that the only point?
Yeah, it's an economic, boycott, basically. Like, just kick the economy in the nuts for a day, send a message. I mean, no one's going out of business over it. But yeah, the idea is to send a poignant message that millions of us are going to not go to work or school or anything else. And
yeah.
So, but yeah, it can be a little tough, especially on a weekday.
Yeah.
And I'll also tell you, my son yesterday, who's 16, sophomore in high school, I asked him, like, hey, is your high school doing a walkout? Because last week they did. And last week was the first ice out protest in Minnesota. And some other parts of the country did it, but now that's why it's happening this Friday. Now it's a nationwide general strike.
Right.
And when I asked him yesterday if his school was doing it, he said, like, I don't think anyone's talking about that. And then I just got a call from him at 2 o'clock West Coast time. He's like, Dad, we walked out. I got my sign. He said, I made a sign that says, take your masks off, you ice holes.
Good for him, dude.
And the kids are marching. So
Bravo.
I called the school to see if I could excuse him for the absence or not. And I got a little lawyerly. You'd be impressed.
Oh, did you? Good, dude. Good. What'd they say? Yes?
Well, it's an attendance hotline. That's how it works nowadays. You just leave your message. But I told him who I was. I said that he's part of this walkout, which I believe is a constitutionally protected activity. So I'm assuming you guys are on board with this, especially because I'm his dad and I'm excusing him. So,
Yeah. Well, from high schools to universities, people seem to be taking a stand and protesting. This is in Minneapolis. So, yeah, these University of Minnesota students continue to protest ICE as police try to remove them. But you know what? They're not going quietly. And we keep talking about the youth of America grabbing the baton and carrying this great country of ours forward. It's nice to see people like your son, like my nephew, go out there and stand up for what's right, be on the right side of history, to see the youth really get charged up. You know, you're going to say, oh, I know that a lot of MAGA people always say, like, oh, they just want to get out of school. It's so irresponsible. No, that's not the truth. There may be a small percentage of those asshats that want to, and, you know, who knows? Yeah. But there is a large percentage of people who this matters to more than we adults, who leave kids out of the conversation far too often, that this matters to.
Yes. The kids have a different perspective on this. They see it often in their communities. They see it in friends of theirs. And as we've seen on multiple news stories, they see it in their goddamn schools. Yeah. Never forget the day that Renee Good was murdered by ICE agents. They left that scene and went to, I think it was Roosevelt High School in Minneapolis there, and were launching tear gas canisters at pickup that day. We saw the 5-year-old kid used as bait in Minnesota. Yep. So school kids absolutely see this, and they don't see it through the political spectrum. They just see it through real life, and they see it on their social media feeds of people they know or encounters from whether it's celebrities or towns they live in. Like, they definitely see it. And anyone who says they're being spoon-fed, I would venture is being spoon-fed their own narrative through Fox News and Newsmax and all that garbage.
More than likely, dude. Yeah, they're not benign to it by any age. You know, we had plenty of cases even here in Washington where even ICE was showing up to daycares to get parents and take them away. You know, like, there's a lot of shit. And yeah, our kids are affected by all of this. Go back a couple of years to COVID, and now we're seeing the downfall of what our kids experienced in COVID. And people are like, oh, they're still learning online. They're still doing this, but we're seeing it all. So yeah, they're feeling this, they're seeing this, and it's going to create a huge fucking problem.
Yeah. I know you've got both liberal and MAGA family in Nebraska. This guy here, Indy's talking about a high school protester run over in Nebraska by MAGA. He's talking about a guy in a car that had a big freaking Trump flag, and he did a hit and run on a high school kid outside protesting.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, dude. I haven't talked to any family in Nebraska about that. I did see the clip, and you just wonder, you were talking about people being spoon-fed a second ago. And a lot of kids are affected by their MAGA parents. I mean, what high schooler student shows up with a MAGA flag, on their car that's, not being spoon-fed at home? But yeah, he totally just ran that kid over. I don't even know how the kid's doing, but I do know his classmates surrounded him and offered aid and help and everything. But yeah, that's MAGA for you.
Yeah, no, spot on. And real quick, I just want to mention a video I did yesterday for RA, although I think it just came out today. Andrew Schultz. Like, I was a fan of his stand-up comedy before I realized he went hardcore MAGA. And he was, he was MAGA during the election. He had Trump on. He's credited as part of this broadcast world for propping Trump up. And
yeah.
He didn't have to, but yesterday he ate a whole bunch of crow, just went on his podcast and said, I was wrong. This is disgusting what is happening. They are lying to our faces. They killed a guy for exercising his First and Second Amendment rights. They're trying to tell us don't believe what you see. And if any of you are pissed at me for supporting Trump, I get it. Tell me to screw off. Don't ever listen to me again. He didn't have to say it. He could have moved on, but I applaud him for finally getting on the right side of history and just in a very humble way, speaking directly to his audience. And all of the dudes on that thing were just stone-faced and admitting, like, we got this wrong. We're really sorry.
Yeah, I'm not so easily to forgive because I think it kind of comes out for in their own best interests at this point, you know.
Well, maybe, but we
Yeah.
can't unring the bell of last year's election, right? Is it not better late than never?
It's
Do we
better,
not need
but
his audience to come on with him?
we do, but that's the point. I guess I'm trying to make is you're not one and done. You better keep going with it. You better keep telling your audience, like you did for fucking 2 years, how great Trump was. You better keep telling them how egregious this is,
Right.
and that we all need to change our mind. I mean, Joe Brogan has made a few statements like this is not what we voted for, and it just enrages me. Like you need to come all the way over to the other side, and yes, we do need to embrace people that have changed their mind, but that doesn't mean I don't get to be mad for a little while. From
That's
all
fine.
those Nilk brothers to, the Pauls and all of those guys, Theo Vaughn that helped get Trump elected. Like you better stand up now. Good thing, good on you, Andrew Schultz, for making a stand on it, but keep going with it.
I agree. And multiple people are chiming in, too little, too late, thanks to like, I get it. I get the sentiment. I just, time has moved forward. Yes, we were screaming at all these people last year, don't vote for this maniac. By last year, I mean 2024. But, the ship sailed. So I would rather have people convert now than never. And especially people that have a platform, because
Yeah.
some percentage of his audience will follow him. So,
sure.
we can be pissed at him, and rightfully so. But isn't that what we're all trying to do, is convince people to vote blue and to see the light and all that stuff? So
100%. Yeah, we've been saying it for a long time, but it doesn't just end with an I'm sorry. You got to work for it now. That's what
no,
I'm
I get
saying.
it. I get it.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome. Some people are bringing up Epstein files. We'll get there. We've got a bunch of the highlights or lowlights, as
Yeah.
it were, from today. But the general strike. I have not seen any like overtly newsworthy things. Like people are turning out all over the country, but haven't seen any additional riots or shooting or anything like that. But there was the big concert today. Tom Morello, former Rage Against the Machine, former Audio Slave, and now with his new band Rise Against, put on a fundraising concert today. All of the proceeds are going to go to the family of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and he was teasing a special guest.
Special guest, dude. Yeah, we were talking about it a little last night. I mean, there were rumblings of who it could be and might be, and at least one of them on the list was correct.
Well, I was going to say, the rumors were Eddie Vedder, which would make sense. He's a Morello fan. He's a big political activist guy, but I don't think Eddie showed up today. But the other big rumor, I think he did.
Yes. Let me play this clip of just Morello getting the crowd warmed up a little bit. And, I love that these fans are getting vocal to a great track.
God damn right.
Come on. Yes.
Love to be in that crowd.
So Tom, got the
Awesome.
crowd fired up, and yes, dude, that is exactly what we need to be saying right now. And it feels so weird as an almost 50-year-old man to still have that in my blood. I had it in my blood when I was a teenager, but yes,
We were in
fuck,
high school when that came out, so yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, special guest. Who was it? Was it a big headliner? It wasn't Eddie Vedder. Who was it, Steve?
The man, the boss.
People in Minneapolis. People of our good country, the United States of America.
Thank you, Bruce. I agree.
Streets of the winter's ice and cold. Down Nicollet Avenue. The sea of flame for fire and ice. Neath an occupier's boots. King Trump's proud army from the DHS. Guns belted to their coats. Came to Minneapolis to enforce the law.
Hey, dude, what a great track that he wrote. You did a video on it where you played the song in full, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, apparently he wrote it Saturday, recorded it like Sunday or whatever. It took a few days to do whatever, and they released it. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm sure he did not want to have to write and record that song, but I'm glad that people with that kind of platform are speaking out.
Yeah.
And, it does remind me of Bob Dylan. And I'm working on a video right now for Really American. I'll probably be out tomorrow about all of the musicians right now that are speaking out. And it is the Rages, it is Bruce. It is, Dropkick Murphys, NoFX have done some songs, but it's also this resurgence in folk music.
Yeah.
And the article that I was reading today was like, there's a resurgence in folk music, and that is not a good thing. Because folk music like Dylan comes about in times of tragedy in America, in times of, whether it's Vietnam War or these ICE, insanity. Like,
to inspire progress.
Right.
Yeah.
They're speaking out against atrocities happening. So it's actually not great, quote unquote, but I'm glad there are artists. And Jesse Wells, is that his name? Like, he's the modern day Dylan for sure. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to feature some of these people, and I'm glad they're speaking out. And, we were saying earlier this week that, getting Vocal One, that Trump is retreating from Minnesota, but now it appears that he's backpedaling on that. He called Preddy, insurrectionist or instigator last night. It is going back off on him again because of this new video that came out that is bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, it's completely bullshit. And you know what? It's so frustrating watching the video because I was having a talk with my wife the other night when I first saw the video. And she was talking to some lawyers who are actually working on the Alex Preddy case. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
They're having this conversation. And, my wife brought up this new video and asked just, what do you think of it? And they all said the exact right thing. They're like, who the fuck cares? Like, why are we talking about that when we're talking about this?
Yes.
And that's what we all need to think. I mean, I would hate to have my worst 10 seconds from my life grasped for you all to see and then be judged by that alone, you know?
Yes, for sure. But Mega World is trying to claim that video is somehow vindicating this officer or something. But there's only two options here. One, those ICE officers remembered him from that incident, which would mean they were targeting him the day they shot him, which I don't think that's the case they want to make. Or it has nothing to do with anything. Who cares if he broke a law a week ago, which would have been a misdemeanor, a ticket, or like, okay, he broke a taillight on a car. Obviously, that has nothing to do with any of it.
The greater implication, dude, as we continue to have this conversation, I was like, I've seen more than one video, but this one really stood out when this lady was taping ICE officers, and he came up and, took a picture or a recording of her license plate and her, and she was like, ooh, what are you doing? And he was like, now you're, we've got a little system going here. Now you're domestic terrorist. We've got a little, we're putting you in the systems. That is something that we should all be frightened of, because if they are putting together that a whole database of people they label domestic terrorists in that instant moment, we're all screwed. It's unlawful, first of all, but second of all, we're all screwed.
Yes. This name will be on the list right here. Johnny Boy. Steve Harness, says is a legend, is a domestic terrorist, according to the Trump world.
Keep that in mind. We've both been labeled already. We're on a list somewhere. So.
And speaking of names, Jeff Ross here. What are you talking about? Tom Holland is just a big dickhead. Tom Holland, Spider-Man, what did he do? That's unfair. How dare you besmirch his good name?
Well, you better see what he did. Maybe you don't know, dude. Things have changed.
I would be shocked if I was that far out of the loop. He knows with great power comes great responsibility. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, it's just crazy, dude. With all of this comes, for the asking for the removal of Kristi Noem. I saw this video, dude. Where is it? Bovino. This, if you haven't seen this is crazy that, they took him out of Minneapolis. Yeah. He made this video for his ICE agents, and I about died. I was like, I went to, the internet. Is this fucking real? They were like, yep, it's real.
Oh, boy. Did the camera have to pan down to see him?
Behind me are a few individuals there. That's the original turn and burn. The folks that helped make America. But you know what? I'm very proud of what you, the Mean Green Machine, are doing in Minneapolis right now, just like you've done it across the United States over these past tough 9 months. And I want you to know that you're the modern day equivalent. Turn and burn. Makes me very proud. I also want you to know that I've got your back now and always. I love you, I support you, and I salute you.
Jesus, dude.
Turn and burn, more like turn and run. Why do you think he's in, what is that, South Dakota? Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Why would he be in South Dakota? I thought he was in Minnesota. Oh, he's heading home out west.
Yes.
So he's doing a little sad little man road trip there.
That's something though, dude, to just be like, and say, oh, you guys are just as important as all these people on this mountain behind me. Like the work you're doing is unbelievable.
Yes. Okay. By the way, just to clear Spider-Man's good name, Jeff Ross, typo. He meant Tom Homan is a terrible person, not Tom Holland.
Okay. Yeah.
Tom Holland. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, Tom Homan is a terrible person. I've got a little clip of him speaking as well because, he got together with Tim Waltz and talked a little bit. And this is him talking about how that conversation went.
Okay.
In my meetings with folks so far, most important, the governor and the AG, the Mayor Fry, we didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything.
On anything?
I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends in administration. Bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions.
Oh, there's problems.
Yeah, there are problems. Yeah. He is. I mean, he's a character of himself, He is an asshat, and he doesn't seem to have a heart. And, I didn't know that he had worked for quite a few past presidents, including Obama. And I don't know what that says about him. If he was normal at one time and just went crazy when the cuffs were taken off and he could go wild himself and had no restrictions. I don't know. I don't know a lot about his past.
I can't say that I do either. I did not know he had anything in the Obama world. I can't imagine it was that high up or whatever. But yeah, I mean, he might just be a bootlegging lackey that takes his marching orders from whoever's up top. But either way, he all of a sudden is the sane man in the room, which is telling quite a bit. So
yeah.
Screw all of them. I find it funny right now, kind of watching Mega World tripping all over themselves. Because at first it was Alex Preddy was asking for it. And then a day or two later, it's like, well, maybe some mistakes were made. Then Trump started to retreat. Holman got sent in. Noam made some mistakes. Now Trump's back to he's an instigator. It's now some Mega, like all that old video. Like they're just going back and forth this week as anybody with two eyes, a heart, and a soul. And like I was saying, even the broadcast guys are all like, this is fucked up. Like, did you see the video? Like, just stop it. Just stop.
This is crazy, dude. Yeah. No, I mean, we all know what we saw in the video. We've been saying that since it happened. And for people to wake up, I'll tell you how many AI videos I've seen, dude. I mean, there are so many AI videos out there. Even 80% of the video is real and 20% of it's AI. Like, I understand all the confusion and everything else, but go to a major network and watch the video. I mean, and 90% of the time it's going to be real.
Yeah, for sure. AI is one thing when it's just a off the wall sort of thing, but when they take a real news story and make an AI thing out of it, we saw it with the Charlie Kirk shooting. Like, we had that grainy picture of the accused assassin, then all of a sudden it's like crystal clear. I was like, I haven't seen that clear. Oh, it was AI. And then there's this one making the rounds this week where Alex Preddy is up on his knees and they're shooting him in the back of the head. Like, it's AI.
Yeah.
It's hard to even notice one of the agents doesn't have a head. Like, you're so fixated on, but that's a real thing. They did shoot him in the back. Like, why do you need to make an AI picture just to screw with everybody?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's, mega types just trying to sow seeds of dissent,
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. I think that there's a lot of truth to that. I believe that. So, well, a lot going on. We'll talk about Kristi Noem a little later. I think we need to probably talk a little bit about this latest Epstein dump, don't you think?
I do. And, they released 3.5 million documents or something today and are saying, like, all right, that's it. We're done. That's all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Wait
said
a minute.
that's
You
it.
just said you had 6 million documents. How is 3.5 million the end of it?
Yeah, and it's late, and they'll never, receive any punishment for that. So, I don't know, dude. That's just crazy to me. But yeah, I guess they're done with it, and what we get is what we get. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. And it seems to be that they released some of it, but they're already deleting some of it. Okay, so Todd Blanche came out and talked about the release of some of these files. Here's a couple of things from Blanche that he had to say.
Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. In total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in compliance with the Act. Just a quick note about the videos and images. The 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are not all videos and images taken by Mr. Epstein or someone around him.
You have to look at his notes.
I want to address what we didn't produce.
Yeah, please do.
The categories of documents withheld include those permitted under the Act to be withheld. Files that contain personally identifiable information of victims, or victims' personal and medical files, and similar files, the disclosure of which would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy.
Oh, so they could redact anything, is basically what he said there.
Yes, and as Naomi says, the rest is too explicit. Well, it's a child sex case, so I would imagine there's a lot of explicit, inappropriate things, but that's sort of the point.
Yeah.
Is it not?
That's the whole point of it, dude. So here's one other thing that he had to say, and this is regarding Trump being in the files.
President Trump has said for years what I think everybody will find to be exactly true, which is detailing his relationship and lack thereof with Mr. Epstein and what he thought about Mr. Epstein. And notwithstanding what the department has been saying for a very long time, we're still where we are today. Listen, victims of Mr. Epstein have gone through unspeakable pain, and there's nobody that should say anything differently. And I to the extent that there's frustration, I understand where that comes from, just from what we know about Mr. Epstein. I hope that the work that the men and women within this department have done over the past 2 months hopefully is able to bring closure. I think that what we told our reviewers is that was the goal. There's this mantra out there that, the Department of Justice is supposed to protect Donald J. Trump, and that's what we were telling. That's not true. That was never the case. We are always concerned about the victims.
Stuff.
Yeah, and why didn't you release these a long time ago then?
Right. So, yeah, what Nick and I are referencing there is a bunch of stuff did come out today, and then it's all of a sudden magically been deleted as soon as people started covering it. And yeah, obviously there's more information to come out. We heard in an email this week from Ghislaine Maxwell there are 25 unindicted men. And Trump has been saying, like, friends will get hurt. That's what he told Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I spot on believe it. I continue to say that we don't have proof that Trump did anything, okay? So I can't sit here and call him a pedo, but I can call him a pedo protector.
Yes.
He covered up for Epstein. He clearly knew what he was up to. That's the birthday card. That's a teenage girl, not a woman. And those 25 names, some of those have to be some of his friends, quote unquote, for him to say, my friends will get hurt. Well, that means you're protecting people either directly or indirectly involved. So that makes you just as freaking dirty and skanky.
Look at powerful people that you haven't heard of ever or in a long time and see that they are now surrounded by him because he is handing out positions to these powerful people, to sign them up for, hey, I did nothing wrong. We're all good, But some of a lot of these documents that came out today were just FBI complaints, right?
Anonymous tips or whatever. Sure.
Yes.
But they're interesting.
They're tough. I mean, they're real tough, dude. Do we want to go over some of them?
Yes, I do. And there seems to be a thread that goes through all of these anonymous tips. So let me see here. Do you have video or anything for any of these? Because I just have a bullet point list.
I'm going to share my screen, and then we can read through some of them.
Okay, so that's the big one that I believe was then redacted. Like the web link is no longer there.
Yeah.
So let me just run through some of the highlights. So Trump accused of raping a teenager. In a complaint made by a friend, the president was accused of forcing a 13 to 14-year-old girl to perform oral on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope YouTube's not going to ban us for everything that we're discussing here. So
Yeah.
next one, Trump accused of being present while a newborn was murdered. Another in Epstein's orbit also made allegations of sex trafficking and murder. The unidentified person was followed up on a tip given to the NYPD. Alleged they were assaulted at age 13. Person also alleged that Trump regularly paid them to perform sexual acts and claimed that that they were present when this newborn child was murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, obviously this is all really bad information, and I don't know what is too much to share on the podcast that people should go look up for themselves. But, this is stuff that you should read regardless of hearing it on the pod, okay?
And again, any one of these things, I think you could easily say, like, well, that sounds crazy. But again, I've only read two, and there's already a theme unfolding here, so... continuing on, Mar-a-Lago calendar girl parties. Another complaint for which there was no contact information provided. Alleged the calendar girl parties were happening at Trump's Mar-a-Lago involved genital measurements for children. This is the big one everyone's talking about today. Trump's apparently used his fingers to measure genitalia. A quote here, Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's, I don't think I can say this, female anatomy.
Yeah.
I can't even say this.
You can, but you get the point. I mean, think of the worst possible thing you could think of, and that's what it is.
Yes. So there's that.
Yeah.
Moving on, again, this is all in the same vein. Robin Leach. One complainant claimed that they witnessed sex trafficking ring at Trump's golf course in Rancho Palo Verdes, California in the mid-'90s. The person alleged that Ghislaine Maxwell, former Epstein associate, now serving 20 years, was the madam and the broker for the event. The person claimed that they witnessed lifestyles of the rich and famous host Robin Leach, quote, strangle a young girl at one of these parties. The person also alleged a threat from Trump's head of security if she, quote, ever talked, claimed she was told she would end up as fertilizer for the back nine holes like the other C words if she spoke about what she had seen.
Which is, that's unbelievable, dude. Remember when we talk about sometimes when you hear something and it's such an odd, if it is a lie, it's such an odd lie. Right. You know, like what color his pants were, that kind of stuff. Remember?
Yes.
Robin Leach, dude. I mean, you and I remember who Robin Leach is, but no one under, 40 knows who Robin Leach was.
It's a great point. Like, what a random thing. If you're going to say some celebrity was at a Trump event, like, why would you make up Robin Leach of all people?
Completely.
So, I tend to believe, just like you're referencing Michael Wolff talking about these pictures of Trump, and Michael Wolff was recounting, like, he was wearing tan colored pants. Well, they were more of a khaki color. Like, why would you make up those sorts of details unless you're actually, saying the truth?
You're replaying it in your mind. You're telling the truth. So.
Yes. And then, we saw in these pictures, frickin' Bill Gates showing up in so many of these pictures. So the other thing that was asserted today, Epstein gave Bill Gates advice on hiding an alleged STD from his wife. So apparently Epstein wrote an email to himself. This was found in a draft folder. He hadn't actually sent it. So it said, quote, to add insult to injury, them, I don't know what that means, implored me to please delete the emails regarding your STD, your request that I provide you antibiotics so that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda and the description of your penis. So he's saying, like, Bill Gates got an STD.
Yeah.
Epstein was going to try to cover it up, give him antibiotics that you can then slip to your wife in case she gets the STD. Like, again, these are very weird things if they were made up. And Epstein typed that. That was not one of these anonymous tips.
Right.
So why would you type a draft and never send it if you were making up a lie? because you assume you're going to die someday and someone will find it 10 years later or whatever.
Keep in mind, dude, these have been out for hours, okay? There's millions of pages to look at. They said if you stacked them all up, it's 2 times the size of the Eiffel Tower. That's how many documents there are.
Right. And I agree with Sean. Gross. Yes.
Yeah, it's all very gross, dude. And, yeah, just beyond foul.
Oy. We also found out that apparently Elon Musk was begging to go to the island.
Really?
In multiple
I didn't see
emails.
that. Wow.
Friday's release of 3.5 million documents included alleged requests from Elon Musk to visit the infamous Epstein Island over the holidays back in 2013. One email dated December 14th, 2013, with the subject line, Christmas and New Year's, Musk allegedly wrote, will be in St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? St. Bart's is near the Epstein Island. He wrote then on Christmas Day, same year, actually, I could fly back early on the 3rd. We will be in St. Bart's. When should we head to your island? On the 2nd?
Jeez, dude.
And then another email, December 30th, alert, organize Elon Musk to the island for January 2nd, question mark, allegedly referring to Epstein's private island where he was known to abuse girls.
Lisa Travis, no, we're not surprised. I mean, we're not surprised by this. We know that Musk he's got a lot of weird sexual proclivities beyond just this, so we already know he's a creep.
Yes. I mean, the guy's spreading his seed left and right. And yeah, obviously he's a creep.
Yeah.
Just take a look at him. So,
yeah.
So I don't know. And you're correct. These just came out hours ago. There are literally millions, and it's hard to say what else is going to get found. I mean, there are so many people just pouring through all of these documents and immediately bookmarking them to see what gets taken down. And like we mentioned, we've already seen stuff today be up and then go right back down, including the documents you were showing there.
Yeah, what do you think what do you think the reasoning will be behind that? What do you know, they're going to obviously be called on it, have to answer for it. What will the reasoning be?
Whatever lie of the day they want to make up. We forgot to redact something, innocent victim. There was also a bunch of documents already found today that had victims' names in them. So they're taking their time redacting Trump or these friends of his, but they don't seem to care about the victims' names being put out there.
Right.
And one of the victims already came out today and said, don't gaslight me. Don't tell me this is everything. I know you're missing stuff. So people are pulling through all of this, and they will know what is missing. And there are elected officials that are going to, keep ringing the bell on this. But they're trying to claim today that that's everything we got.
Yeah.
Move on.
A lot of people in the chat right now, Harness. And hey, guys, they're just chatting along. I appreciate it. I'm reading them, I'm seeing them. But because this is a sensitive topic, like some of this shit I can't post, Right. So, but I appreciate the talking along.
Yeah, speaking of things like that and the protests that are happening, we had a paper in my community here that took pictures of the high school kids last week that walked out of school.
Yeah.
And the social media comments were brutal. And this paper had to post on there a reminder, these are minors. We cannot allow you to say certain things about minors. If you say anything illicit, sexual, violent, you will be banned from our page from life. So
people forget about that, dude.
Right. And they're so selective in their outrage and how they treat children.
Yep.
So, yeah. Like I said, those are the highlights and the lowlights. This finger measuring thing seems to be the one getting the most traction so far, but the day is hardly even halfway over. So we'll see what else comes out. And there's 180,000 images. I've yet to see any today. So I don't know when we're going to see those.
I've seen a few images, and they were all pretty benign. They were just pictures of Epstein in different glasses and with clay masks on. And, so, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. The question is because I've lost a lot of faith that Trump will ever be held accountable for the things found in the Epstein files.
Oh, he won't be. No.
But what do we think is going to happen? I mean, we're already starting to see some uproar in the Republican Party about different shit and the way it's going and speaking out and against Trump. I feel like this will just make more of that happen.
Wait, I'm sorry, more outrage or people are
from the
gonna,
Republicans. Yes. As more of this comes out, hopefully there are going to be, we're already a little mad, or we're not. Republicans getting a little mad. With more of this info coming out, will it get them to rise up a little more and say, yeah, I'm drawing the line, dude. I can't do it anymore.
listen, part of my point of that broadcast story that I did was that we have to pay attention to what issues are breaking party lines and age demographics. Like what are the issues that an Andrew Schultz would give up on Trump for? Because those are the issues we've got to keep hammering this year so we can win the midterm elections, freeze his agenda, maybe, God willing, impeach him. And there are clearly two issues that I've noticed.
Yeah.
ICE and Epstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the ICE thing has got more momentum.
Definitely got more momentum right now, because before they voted for him, they all thought, oh, he's not in the files. So, yeah, release those Epstein files. But now that we're seeing, yeah, he's all over them, to what degree we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, they have already called for those. But, yeah, they're riled up about ICE, and it's not what they voted for. So.
No. So we just got to keep hammering on all of this. And the Epstein stuff, like I said, journalists are going through it left and right, and we'll keep talking about it and reporting on it, and everyone keeps sharing it online. Like, don't let this get buried in the news cycle, because that, as we've said for years, is what Trump is best at, is overwhelming the news cycle so that you can't possibly focus on 50 things at once. It's brilliant in an evil genius sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And, he's been doing that well before he got into politics. So, yeah, he's had a lot of practice with it. So,
absolutely. So, I don't know. Got anything else on that topic, or should we talk about him shitting all over the First Amendment?
Yeah, we can talk. Let's talk about that a little bit. Because, this is something, everything that's happening, dude, is just another gut punch of, is this trying to get eyes off Epstein, or is this something we should really actually be watching and listening to? Right. And with the recent arrest of Don Lemon, I think it's time to start listening if you haven't been, because he's been trying it. And that's how Trump does it. He tests things in real time. Let's see what we can do with Stephen Colbert. Let's see what people might get uproar about Jimmy Kimmel. Like, he tests things in real time. Yeah. If you don't know the story, there was a group of protesters who went and protested at a church last week. And
at this point, but yeah.
What's that?
I said like 2 weeks ago at this point. Yeah.
Can't keep up, dude. Yeah. But they went into the church of supposedly a pastor there was working as an ICE director. And they went into a service and, made a big uproar. Don Lemon was on site covering the news of what was happening and followed these people into the church. And while he was there, talked to a couple of parishioners, and actually not the pastor he wanted to, because he wasn't there, the ICE guy, but the pastor who was doing service. People were outraged, dude, that you would go in and interrupt a constitutionally protected thing like religion, I thought, what are you talking about?
Could you imagine if Mega freaked out this badly every time there's a church shooting? Like, actually demanded answers and people be prosecuted? They don't seem to really care about public shootings, Second Amendment issues. But yeah, the whole mega world claims they love the Constitution. Trump's the big flag hugger. But I mean, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, like, they are just dumping all over it. So to go after a journalist who is a very well-known journalist, not that any of us cannot be journalists, First Amendment, I watch so many of these audit videos where the cops are like, show me your media pass. Like, anyone can make a media pass. I have one right here that I just made myself on a freaking printer. Like, anybody can make a media pass. So it's
the most important. It's why it's the First Amendment. It's the most important thing, that we as people can be journalists, and there's freedom of the press. You can go actually get the story and spread it so people know what's going on.
Absolutely. And nowadays, with everyone having a camera and access to social media, it's more important than ever. And Don Lemon said multiple times on that live stream, like, I'm not with these people, I'm just here covering it. He did interview the pastor who kept saying like these people, the protesters, which would mean he did not think Don Lemon was part of it. He was voluntarily doing an interview because he knew Don Lemon was media.
Yeah.
We had a federal judge in Minnesota last week throw these attempted arrest, charges out against Don Lemon. He said no, there's nothing here. He signed off on arrest warrants for 2 other people that helped organize it.
Right.
But there's no proof Lemon helped organize it. There's no proof that he did anything physical, as they're saying today. And but they figured out a creative way to arrest a journalist. Like it's never going to hold up, and they're just going to make Don Lemon even more famous. But I think it's because former CNN, they hate CNN
For sure.
black guy, gay guy, like that's the trifecta for them. So
Yeah.
they were just hell bent on doing it, and somehow did.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, like it doesn't matter if you like Don Lemon or not. Everyone has the power to be a journalist and report on things. So he was there in that capacity. And they're just, 2 judges said, oh, we won't sign off on an arrest warrant. 2 different judges. And they said, okay, screw you. We're not going to listen to you. And we're just going to arrest him anyway. So, yeah.
Not to mention, career DOJ lawyers from Minnesota and Los Angeles believe the arrest of Lemon is another example of the Trump admin pursuing political enemies on a trumped-up charges. Multiple lawyers either refused to either be part of this and or resigned. That's in addition to the judges. And then, Megyn Kelly came out today, who, she's the one that was like, hey, 15-year-old girls, is that really bad? Is that really bad?
That's not really pedophilia. Right. That's younger girls. Come on.
Right. She came out today salivating over the arrest of Don Lemon.
Loves it.
Oh, absolutely. She says, for those saying that this is criminalizing journalism, journalists don't get a pass when breaking the law just because they have a microphone. If I accompanied people storming an abortion clinic, harassing, scaring, traumatizing the crying women while saying, but I'm a reporter, I would absolutely have been charged under any Democratic administration. No.
Well, now you're breaking HIPAA laws, dude. I mean, it's apples and oranges, really,
Well, primarily, but I would also argue, first of all, if you're a reporter and people storm a clinic and you follow them in to report on it, that still should be protected. You didn't organize it. You weren't part of it. You didn't break the doors down. You weren't harassing people. You're simply covering it.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would be prosecuted for that. But again, careful what you wish for, idiots. What's a President AOC, a President Newsom, a President Mark Kelly? Do you think they're going to start arresting Fox News personalities and that world would be okay with it?
Yeah. Sean Hannity has been arrested.
If Sean Hannity walked into that church too, do you think he would have been arrested today?
No.
Of course not.
It's like you said, you got a gay black man who used to work for CNN, and this was the perfect one to make a example out of. So.
Yes. But they're just going to make him more famous. Don Lemon is doing a great thing as far as being an independent journalist. It's part of what you and I have started to do. It's part of why I have this media pass right here, because I stopped working for a radio station, even though I owned it, and started just doing independent stuff. Started own social media channels, building it up. And Don Lemon was one of my, if he could do it, I think I can do it. And he's redefining new media. You don't need a CNN. You don't need an NBC. All you need is to build up a following. So they have just catapulted his independent status and the number of followers and downloads and all that stuff.
And I think he's been doing a really good job since he's gone independent. I follow him. So,
yes.
Yep. It's just dangerous. What did somebody just say? I lost the comment now. But yeah, this is in the handbook. Oh, yeah. Suppressing the media. God damn it. This thing just keeps moving because you guys are all talking. Yeah. But suppressing the media, that's in the handbook, guys. I mean, we know that.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is all fascism 101. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's dangerous. It'll be interesting to see. And fuck you, Megyn Kelly. I mean, she's the person who said the weird shit about Epstein, 15-year-olds aren't that bad. And then, with Alex Preddy, she came out and she was like, I'm trying to fucking care about him, but guess what? I just fucking don't.
Yes.
Like, she is vile.
Yep.
She's just a vile human being because it's the only way she gets any clicks anymore. And it's the only way. I can't believe she works for Sirius XM, dude. I can't believe they've kept her on.
Oh, that's what I can't believe, that they haven't fired her yet. That's outrageous to me because they are a major company.
Yeah.
And Megyn Kelly's last shred of credibility was back in 2016, I think it was, when she told Trump at the debate, like, why do you say so many derogatory things about women? And Trump was like, it's just Rosie O'Donnell. And Megyn Kelly's like, no. And she listed up. And then Trump said she was bleeding from her eyes, bleeding from her wherever. Like,
Yeah.
somehow she went from trying to call Trump out back then for being sexist to now being a boot-licking sycophant, condoning murder and prosecuting journalists.
Yes, 100%. Complete bootlicker. And yeah, she's on the wrong side of history for sure. She's got kids. She always talks about her kids, like she's
Some of them are
raising them right.
teenagers.
Yeah. So,
She has I think a 15-year-old daughter or 13-year-old daughter. Like, okay, you send her to the Epstein Island, are you? Like,
yeah, take her on over, dude. That's not real young, right? According to her.
it's outrageous.
Yep, for
I
sure.
don't
So
think she's
yeah,
a dude. So
we'll see
maybe.
what Don. We'll see what happens with Don Lemon. It should be interesting, but it's also it's another distraction. I mean, we always say this news cycle is like a cat laser, dude. You just got to keep looking every which way, and it's exhausting.
Yes. I'm just looking at news alerts on my phone right now because there's just constantly things going on.
Yeah.
Senate passes funding bill and punts on the DHS. So it looks like we're going to primarily avoid a government shutdown. I don't think it's going to get finalized till next week. So this weekend, some things might get out of whack. But
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? You think it's the right thing to do from the Democrats once again?
the short answer is they set aside DHS. They gave it a 2-week extension to allow them all to debate Kristi Noem and funding and what she's done to FEMA and what they're doing with ICE. And so I suppose anything that will extend that debate is a good thing. But again, people, the Democrats are not in power. We don't have the House, we don't have the Senate, we don't have the Oval Office, we don't have the Supreme Court. So we don't have a lot of options. So I think any option where we can say, let's not screw over TSA, let's not screw over all these government people, but let's at least allow the opportunity to attack DHS. Okay, at least we have a chance.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not for shutting the government down. I just wonder at what cost, Yeah. So 2 weeks we can take. But I was already pissed that the Democrats sunk with the last government shutdown. So,
yeah. No.
Yeah.
Speaking of sinking, should we talk about what has to be, what I feel is going to be the all-time biggest bomb in Hollywood movie history unfolding right now in real time?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about Geely or any of these other famous epically bombing movies? I mean, this Melania Trump movie just reeked eons ago of a bomb. Who wants to go watch a movie I can't believe they're putting it in theaters.
Well,
to put it on Prime only would have made a little sense. But you're hanging everyone out to dry by putting out in theaters and letting us all watch the ticket sales do nothing.
The Melania, my mom asked me, what is this stupid Melania movie supposed to be about? I was like, it's just about her, as Trump takes office for the second time and what her life looked like changing and blah, blah, blah. She was like, what a joke.
It's a total joke. I can tell you what it really is.
What do you think it is?
It's a bribe. Jeff Bezos kissing the ring, bending the knee, paid Melania Trump $25 million for the rights to her story as if it's worth 25 cents.
Yeah.
And then he spent $40 million promoting it. They're $75 million in on this movie that is projected to make less than $5 million.
Yeah.
So it was just a straight up way to bribe the Trump family.
We've got a couple of videos not only talking to Melania herself, but other hard-hitting reporters interviewing Melania about the movie. Let's watch the first one here.
What's your relationship with the president not knowing he was going to be president?
Well, I always thought, that one day he might go and run. Mm-hmm. And I always told him, if you do it, you will win. Because I knew how much people loved him. Mm-hmm. So, and here we are again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought someday he would run to the ATM.
So
he's running again.
So he's running again.
Here we are again, the second time.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's real funny, dude. So here's a reporter asking Melania about the movie.
Can you describe making the film in 3 words?
I think the people will judge it for themselves. And then it's beautiful, it's emotional, it's fashionable, it's cinematic,
forward.
and I'm very proud of it.
May we bring you two together again?
Yeah.
Oh,
And together?
don't they look good together?
So
beautiful
natural.
first
Love
lady.
Right here, please.
Dude, Trump was asked about this Melania film, and I think if you don't think that Trump is ill and dying and losing his fucking mind, you have to watch this.
And Mr. President, what do you say to those that are critical of the fact that Amazon paid $40 million to acquire the rights of this movie?
Well, I think they'd have to go and ask President Obama, who got paid a lot of money and hasn't done anything. So I think they probably have to go because if you take a look at others, they've been paid a lot of money. But this is somebody, Melania, who really produced it. She's done a great thing. This is a very important piece of work.
She stood there and got filmed. She was like, "Go ask Obama."
It's an
Let's see
important
Obama
piece of
spit his
work.
coffee out. Like, don't bring me into this.
What the fuck was that answer, dude? I mean, come on. It was nonsensical.
Listen, I will give Trump credit for one thing. He is consistent with his love of trophies. Whether it's the Peace Prize, the FIFA Prize, or a fucking trophy wife that he bought and paid for, like, he loves his trophies. So at least he's consistent there.
Yeah. What a joke, dude. So, yeah, I mean, we know a little bit about this movie because that's all there really is to know about it. But I think it sold 1 ticket in a box office in Australia. I saw it sold 2 somewhere in France. This is unbelievable, dude.
Premiere in London sold 2 tickets. Did you see this Craigslist ad thing that started making news and then they realized? So there were Craigslist ads. They found one in Boston for sure. It was offering people $50 and a free ticket if you will go and watch the movie and sit there through the entire thing. Yeah. And then the report I heard just before we came on air today was they pulled all those ads down because it could be considered an illegal campaign contribution to be paying people to go support your wife's movie who she got paid for through
pay for play, dude.
Yes. And how pathetic is that? That was like when Don Jr.'s book came out and he bought thousands of copies just because he wanted to try to bump the numbers up. So he bought all these books himself. Like, just
something you'd see on a comedy show. I got a text last night that was terrible from our friend, mutual friend, Stuart. He texted me last night and he said, I just called the police. Someone broke into my car. They didn't steal anything. They left 4 tickets to the Melania movie. That's got to be a hate crime. Yes.
That's great.
Of course, those jokes are going around.
I saw a headline today that there was one 5-star review on IMDb. And if you read it, it's like, this is a heart-wrenching story of a woman who self-sex trafficked herself into royalty and money in America.
Good. Love it, dude. That is fascinating.
If Melania is the trophy wife, Hot for Prince says, then it must be a participation trophy. It's true. I mean, listen, Melania is good looking. I mean, there's no denying that. But no, I don't even know if it counts as a participation trophy if you don't ever get to play with the trophy. If the trophy wants nothing to do with you.
That's true. Yeah. As we roll towards the midterms, we've been talking about voting blue down the ticket, vote blue no matter who, wondering if we do, for some reason, get Trump out of office and J.D. Vance takes over. Is it a better scenario? Yes. Excuse me. But people are talking, dude. People are talking, including Trump himself, and had an interesting thing to say the other day. I would like your comment on it, Steve, please.
I read an article today where they think Bobby is going to be really great for the Republican Party in the midterms. So I have to be very careful that Bobby likes us. But we're letting you do your job, right? Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. You're doing a great job.
Jeez, dude. Can you imagine?
Yeah, listen, there is a grain of truth to what he is saying. And I have discovered this through videos I've done for Really American. Here's the issue. There are a certain number of liberals or people in the center that are anti-vax or that are for like, pure feuds, this Maha movement thing.
Yeah.
So there's a reason he is the most popular of all of the unpopular people in Trump's cabinet, because there are actually people on the center and the left that very quietly are like, I don't like vaccines either. I don't like all these processed foods or food dyes and all that either. So,
Sure.
Is he going to save them in the midterms? Fuck no. Good luck with that. Unless Bobby starts walking on water, then no, he's not saving anything. But he is more popular than Trump and Rubio and Noam and all these other idiots.
Yeah, we always talk about, once Trump's gone, the charisma's gone, right? That nobody can live up to the same stuff that Trump has been able to with all these idiot voters. He's definitely not one. I can't listen to the guy talk for more than, a couple of seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah, could you imagine a debate or State of the Union from him for an hour?
Can you imagine him being attacked and him coming out to the podium like on 9/11? Like, my fellow Americans.
Right. Yeah, indeed. So, no, Bobby's not saving anything, but good luck with that. Trump also, real quick, in a press conference held today, said that elections have consequences. We have a silent majority of people that don't go and riot and everything else, but they like what we're doing. We have a silent majority. Well, listen, from the vocal minority, go fuck yourself and your silent majority, because I don't actually believe that. There are a certain amount of quiet people that don't want to speak up, but you are in a silent minority now, buddy. Like, you barely won the popular vote, and you have screwed all of that up. So on behalf of the vocal minority, go fuck your silent majority.
As we continue to see Trump's approval rating down in a third poll this week. It's dropped 3 times this week, dude.
Shocking.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm surprised how low can polls go? Is there? He scored
2,000%, 5,000%, Steve.
That's right. If you use Trump math, he's down 5,000%. So
right.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, all right, that's enough for one show, dude. That's enough to let people go into the weekend and strategize a little bit on how to stay vocal. We talked about last week before we left, we said, hey, artists out there, keep pumping this shit up, dude. Art is very effective, whether it's in song or, on print. Be your artist and go out there. You can definitely do a lot for the movement.
Yeah, spot on. Listen, and yes, the Bruce Springsteens, the Eddie Vedders, the Mark Ruffalos, all these people speaking out, kudos to you. But not to beat a dead horse here, the Andrew Schultzes of the world that are starting to come around, like, we need those voices too. The guy does have a platform. I don't care if he fucked up in the past. Like, I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying, like, let's let his voice get out there as well, because he's got mega followers. Like, he can help. So whether it's too little too late or not, I'm just saying, like, anybody speaking out against Trump right now, give them some support online. Share their stuff, comment, spread the word. Like, people in your social media feed can be convinced. Maybe not the far right, but the people that are wishy-washy, if they see you speaking out, they may feel better about it too.
Might feel a little braver to say something from, the area that they're in. So
exactly.
Keep doing it.
You can reach out to Nick and I directly. Go to thevocalminority.net, some sort of contact thing there. So reach out to us. And thank you to everyone who has.
Yeah. Thanks, chat, for hanging out with us today. We do 2 shows, Tuesdays and Fridays. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. We appreciate you, yo.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we say bye-bye.